The Strangers Chapter 2 is the sequel to The Strangers Chapter 1, which came out last year. This is actually the second part of the new trilogy that we are getting. Um, this movie basically starts right after where Chapter 1 ended off, with the main character in the first movie. She survived the attacks that happened in the first movie, and this is her now trying to fight the strangers yet again. So if you haven't seen the first Strangers, that one was technically remaking the first movie. It's like her and then her fiance. They were going out of town and they had car trouble, and so they decided to stay in this cabin. And when they were staying there, until the next day to get for their car trouble, these three people break in. These intruders come in and terrorize them, and it kind of like ended off with the one girl surviving and her in the hospital, and then so this movie in particular starts off with her in the hospital, and she's getting chased by the strangers in like the hospital, and it's basically kind of like continuing the story of like her trying to survive these people that are after her. That's mainly what it is. And I saw like the reviews were even worse than when the first one came out. I will say though, when it comes to The Strangers Chapter 2, there were some things I liked, and there were some things I didn't like. I liked the, I loved the chase scenes in the hospital scenes. Or I love how it took the chase scenes took place in some of the hospital rooms. Like there was like a sequence with her in the boiler room, and then there was one in like the autopsy room. Those scenes were pretty cool. Like her like you saw in the trailer, like the dude, like the man in the mask, like running in the hallway. That was a cool shot. That was a cool scene of him just like running into the hallway with the axe and everything. Some the hospital scenes were cool. They were fun. I had a blast seeing that. The thing that was so odd about this movie was there was at some points where it didn't feel like a Strangers movie. It didn't even feel like there was times where it felt like it was kind of like getting off track of what the movie was supposed to be about. So I'll give you an example. So there's like a scene where the main character is fighting this boar, and the boar, of course, the strangers don't even own this boar whatsoever. She it basically just like starts attacking her, and like she hides into this like abandoned vehicle that's in the middle of the woods, like trying to get away from this boar. It was kind of like it was like one of those moments where, okay, we're watching a slash movie, then now we're getting into a fight for survival of animals. It just kind of like cuts into like a totally different. If you guys seen the movie, you kind of get where I'm getting at with this. And I know I'm getting into a little bit some spoilers, but I felt like I needed to talk about like come on now, where are we going with the story? I'm actually so far I like the original movie a little bit better. They're the first Strangers from 2008, and I love the one with Bailey Madison, the Pray at Night. Pray at Night was a lot better. That was like a straight up kind of like slasher movie. That was like probably one of the best ones of the franchise, I think. Um, this, on the other hand, like I said, it didn't feel like a Strangers movie. It didn't feel anything like the Strangers whatsoever. And half the time, I just kept thinking about the brand new Halloween movies that came out, because Halloween Kills sort of in a sort of way did the same thing, especially Halloween Ends. Um, well, Halloween Kills was fine actually, because that was like a straight up slasher, but It wasn't what I was expecting though, but it was slow. That movie. This movie, it was kind of vague. It was like so vague. But I mean, they did play like a little sneak peek. I think kind of like in the mid credits, kind of like 30 seconds of it. Um, of like what the third one's gonna be like, and I think that's gonna come out sometime next year. Chapter 3, which is supposed to be the final one. Or as they say, the terrifying conclusion. So I don't know what I'm thinking about this one. To be quite honest. Um, but from what we saw in the clip for chapter 3, it looks a little bit worse. But we'll see though. I don't know yet. Um, but let me know what you guys think about The Strangers Chapter 2. Let me know which one do you think is better, 1 or 2. Personally, I don't know which ones I like better. I think this one a little bit better, like because the hospital scenes were cool. That was like the hospital like sequences. That was a cool sequence. Um, that was probably like the best part of the movie, in my opinion. But everything else, eh. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.